What is up, guys? Welcome back to part 3 of our enlightening small mini series here at the Bocan Garage, and for me, the most anticipated of the 3, because what are we going to be doing today, guys? It's the rear JDM taillights, and I can't tell you how excited I am to actually finally get these things in. And it's not that hard of a process. It's actually pretty simple. The hardest part for me personally was having to take everything out of my trunk, just because I know it was going to make it easier for me in the long run. But that is what it is. And it's really simple, guys. You just peel back your stuff here. You see like 4 10mm bolts right there. You unplug your cable right there, pop this out. This whole thing's gonna come out. You gotta then unscrew like 4 or 5 screws underneath this, 2 of the new ones, and pop it back in. It's like so simple and easy that I just was like, you know what? I'm in the cleaning mode. I'm in the cleaning mood. I wanted to organize all my work stuff, and I figured, why not just, install the taillights? All right, guys, so now that we got our equipment and we kind of, set up, ready to rock and roll, I want to correct something that I just said, I think a few moments ago. I think I said that these are 10mm bolts. They are not. They are 8mm. So if you guys are doing this and you grab your 10mm sockets, I apologize. I gave you misinformation, but they are 8. And I was again wrong once more, guys. It's not 4 bolts. There's a 5th one back there. It's kind of hidden behind, but still, it's just 5 8mm bolts. Nothing to write home about. Nothing that's really hard to take off. So guys, I had to use a little bit of hammer persuasion to get my original taillights out. They have never been removed before, and as you can see there, the original weather sealing was still very much intact, very much gooey, and basically melted to the frame. So even though I had it unscrewed and ready to pull out, it was not pulling out whatsoever, because this stuff, it is still very soft and goopy. And in the future, I'm going to have to, replace these by new ones, because I don't think the new ones come with them, and I didn't order any. So, hindsight, 2020 and all that. And there we go, guys. Nice and clean. We didn't get all of it off, but that's okay. Wasn't trying to make it like the most perfect clean job. Just wanted to get the gunk off. And I kind of remembered while taking that off, amongst this pile of stuff here, I won't say junk because it's useful stuff, I had this foam weathering for AC units that's designed to keep moisture out and seal it in. So I figure, we can just kind of recreate that just a little bit. And if we got to poke holes through it to get the screws through, it ain't no problem. And there we go, guys. We got it nice and sealed. The stuff is thin, so it shouldn't cause any fitment issues. And if it does, I can tear and cut whatever I need. Like if I wanted to, I could take an X-Acto knife, cut here. So it's literally just the seams. If I knew where my knife was in all this mess, I would actually do that, but I don't. So we're not. So I kind of lied, guys. I found my knife. So we cleaned it up, obviously. So that's looking nice and clean. Obviously, we left some of the residue here. That's fine, because that's still leaving a little bit of sealant, but we got it shortened down so, no water gets in. So now let's focus on taking this off and putting it to the new taillight. There it is, guys. Basically, you want to be careful with these pieces. It's very thin metal. A lot of people end up bending these things, kind of like on Integras. It's a very just thin, fragile piece of metal that can bend real easily. And when you're screwing it into the old or new headlights or out of the old headlights, and by headlights I mean tail lights, be careful because you're just screwing into plastic. So I very highly suggest you use a regular hand screwdriver. Don't use a power drill, only because you could easily strip that out. And if you strip that out, you're not going to be having a good day. So here we go. Obviously it's upside down. We got our new beautiful JDM taillight, and I don't know where I put the screws I just had. There they are. That would have been a big oof if I literally just lost the screws right when I'm about to mount the bracket. And this is pretty easy, guys. There's little tabs here that just mount. Boom, boom. One here, one here. Just plugs right in. The little rubber here rests against that bracket there. And voila, there we go, guys. Again, I recommend screwing them in by hand, especially with the new housing brackets, because they're non-threaded. So you're just literally screwing right into plastic, and you just want it nice and snug. You don't want to over tighten it, because again, you can, you know, strip out the plastic, and you don't want that, because then this is going to fall off or be loose, and then you're a couple $100 out of a brand new taillight. Now, one thing that a lot of people do, or say you can do, is obviously this new taillight comes with new housings, like new plugs. We got our old ones here, which are old and crusty and musty and dusty. Now, the average person would just use what's on the new ones, which we are going to do technically, but we're going to swap over the bulbs. And the reason for that is, yes, these come with brand new, beautiful bulbs. However, I have brand new, beautiful, bright ass LEDs. And, you know, I kind of want to reuse my bright ass, beautiful new LEDs. I mean, they're not new anymore. They've been on the car for probably close to a year now. And they're all Auxitos. And if you guys don't know, these things are incredibly bright. Like, insanely so. Now, I don't know. I might not be plugging them back in the right way. And in fact, actually, wow. So that plug type changes. So I'm going to have to buy a new bulb for that, guys. I kind of noticed that if you look at them, they are completely different. This is the new one. This is the old one. Well, this is a, what are they called? 1094 or something like that. I forget what the bulb size is for these, but it's different. If you look at the pins, I'm hoping my camera picks it up. You can see on the LED, it's left to right. On that one, it's not just straight left to right. It's left and on like a 22-degree angle. So that is a different classification of bulb. Maybe it says it on here. That is a, I don't know. It says E4, all sorts of other stuff. But so that kind of stinks. We're going to have to reuse the stock non-LED bulb, but that's okay. The turn signal bulb, that's a shame, but we can live with that for now. We can definitely live with that for now, as long as we get the LEDs and everything else, because we want the brightness. And I'm sure you guys know, in case you don't know, remember LEDs are polarity sensitive. So if you plug these in and like, you know, you get it all set up, you plug it into your car, and then you notice that your tail lights, your turn signals, whatnot aren't working. Don't freak out. Don't think everything's instantly broken. That's not the case. It just means that you probably got to take the bulb out, turn it around, put it back in, and you're good. Now with this one, obviously, since it's just a regular incandescent bulb, that's going to work fine, no problem. Remember guys, once you get your light in place, always screw down nice and snug your 5 bolts. And as you're doing that, just kind of massage and make sure that the light's going in evenly, because I was having kind of fitment issues here where it was trying to pop out. You just got to kind of massage it in. The beautiful thing about this stuff is, guys, at least for the GC8, I know a lot of other cars, when you do like JDM conversions and whatnot, you got to like drill out holes and all sorts of stuff like that, like on the FD2. But for this, you don't have to do that. It just bolts right on in, and just, oh my goodness, guys, look at that. That is just absolutely beautiful. Compare it to the side. That still has the USDM one, which I don't hate. I know a lot of people hate that. I don't hate it, but that's just stunning. I'm absolutely in love with that, guys. That is just gorgeous. So I am going to try and test the lights, make sure that they work before I move on to the next one. And there we go, guys. It's all working. That means we plugged in the bulbs properly, and obviously that one's blinking no matter what because it's just a incandescent bulb. But it looks great. Obviously you can't tell how bright it is during the daylight, but I like it. So with that one and done, let's move on to the next one. And boom, guys, just like that, we got both of the JDM tail lights in. We still got a mess of tools on the floor, but just look at that, guys. So beautiful, just clean, flush, gorgeous look. I can't wait to get this stuff back in there so we can close the trunk and just see the absolute beauty of it. But I kind of regret not recording the passenger side instead of the driver's side, only because there was a few extra steps. And if you guys know, you know that this side has these annoying black things right here. And they literally go on, you push them on, screw them on. I don't know how they go on, but I know they go on. And they hold your wires in place. Now, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. The only thing that sucks is when you're trying to get the wires off or get these nuts off, these wires and these little clips, they get in the way. Oh, they get in the way. And getting them off, although not the worst thing in the world, was a pain in the butt. But we're in, we're plugged in. And I realized now while I'm back here too, see this loose wire? I'm realizing why my reverse camera is not working properly all the time, because the cable is snipped. And there we have it, guys. JDM clear taillights on the GC8, and I could not be happier. I don't know about you guys, but that just that just changes the look of the car so beautifully, and I love it. I am absolutely, it's gorgeous, and it's flush. Look at that. It's absolutely flush. Now I know what you're thinking. That doesn't look flush there, but it's the same way on both sides. If you see the metal body, that's flush with the body, so that just has that gap there. It's supposed to let water run through and run out in between the tank, or the trunk, not the tank. This side, same thing. Now, the gap there is a little bit tighter than the gap here, and that could probably be fixed with a little bit of adjustment, maybe moving the taillight, but the taillights are flush, so I don't think that's a taillight thing. I think I might have to actually shift the trunk just a tiny bit, because I never really paid attention to that. Yeah, look at that. That is very tight there. Gap there. So we'll probably adjust the trunk at some point in the future, but that's not the point of today. We got the JDM taillights on, guys. They look gorgeous. I absolutely love those clear taillights. So that's going to do it for today's episode, guys. That's going to do it for this small, short, like I said, 3-parter enlightening series where we covered installing the trunk lid for the GC8. We covered, obviously, installing the fog lights for the GC8. And now we got the rear taillights, and they look so good. Obviously, I can't really tell fully what they're going to look like until the nighttime, and that's fine. I can wait. It's 12 now. It gets dark here around 5 o'clock these days, and that just looks amazing. I think that just looks too clean. Anyways, guys, before I ramble on for too long, remember, every broken car is an adventure. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Remember to like, comment, favorite, share, do all that good stuff. Remember, don't be a hoonigan in the streets. Save that stuff for the track. And above all else, be out there, be safe, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.